Good morning, everyone. Good day to different time zones. Welcome to the Seeds of Bravery Market Discovery Workshop dedicated to discovering the Central Asia and Caucasus region. Today we will be unlocking different countries, regions, ecosystems, and we'll let you know how the startup ecosystem works and what kind of opportunities do you have within this region. A few words about Seeds of Bravery. Seeds of Bravery is a 20 million euro project funded by the European Union, and its aim is to support Ukrainian tech startups, bringing them closer to the EU and opening the world for them with various opportunities. It's actually the consortium of 17 amazing organizations, partnering organizations, and two associated partners. And we've gathered together to bring real value and knowledge to Ukrainian deep tech startups and help them do the soft landing easier for them for various countries, regions, and etc. We have 5 streams of projects, of programs, each with grant that they are receiving upon becoming beneficiaries of the Seeds of Bravery. And within these programs, we have various non-financial activities as well. The opportunities are tremendous. Inside, we have matchmaking, we have access to additional funding, we have different leadership, female entrepreneurship programs. We provide various support that they might need along their journey. And of course, today, you're here at the market discovery workshop, but as a part of this soft landing thing, we have soft landing workshops, market fast track programs dedicated to go-to-market strategy, and demo days where we showcase our beneficiaries, Ukrainian deep tech startups, and bringing them closer to get to know investors and various ecosystems. We are here today, and our amazing panelists are today thanks to an organizing partners. My name is Anastasia. I'm from Vacuum Deep Tech Acceleration, but also today with me I have Alexandra from Impact Hub Stockholm and Maya from Plug and Play Tech Center. Alexandra, Maya, if you would like to say a few words, just please do.
Yes. Hi everyone, we're so happy that you're all here with us, both to the panelists. It's so amazing that you want to share your knowledge to the Ukrainian startup and of course to the audience. And I'm also so excited to listen in. It's a super interesting region.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for your support, and Maya for your support as well. Today the agenda is pretty packed, and I'm happy that we've gathered various experts from this region to help you understand and navigate this market better. We'll have different panel discussions as well as presentations from various hubs and IT parks and ecosystems, as well as usually in our market discovery workshops, we like to highlight also the Ukrainian perspective and the startups who already did this soft landing and who have succeeded in this region. And of course, last but not least, we will have the fireside chat with covering the investor side and how they see opportunities in this region and how startups and entrepreneurs can access these various opportunities related to investment. With no further ado, I would like to introduce you to our first speaker, first expert. It's Alessia Simeon. Alessia is a communication manager and project component lead at EU for Innovation East. And her topic will be is igniting innovation, unlocking growth through EU for Innovation East. Alessia, thank you for agreeing to join us today, and the floor is yours. Just please share your screen, and we are ready for you.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here, and thank you, Anastasia, for the invitation. Yeah, I'll start right away with my presentation. let me know if you see the screen.
We can see the screen, but not in the full mode. Yes, now it's all wonderful.
It's wonderful. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm happy to be here with you all to make a short presentation of the project which I'm part of the team. So the project is EU for Innovation East, with the aim to support the innovation and startup ecosystems in the Eastern Partnership region. The project is funded by the European Union and is co-funded by the French government and is implemented by Expertise France. So the project will be implemented and is implemented in 5 countries of the EAP region with the overall budget of over 22 million euros with a period of implementation till September 2028. So the project is structured in 4 pillars and 1 special objective dedicated to Ukraine. So first pillar of the project is about access to early stage funding. So it's about igniting early stage funding, pre-seed and seed stages in order to create a solid foundation for thriving businesses, to attract investors, and to foster the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the EAP region. So after making a brief presentation of the 4 pillars, I will come with a presentation of concrete opportunities under these pillars for Ukrainian funders. The second pillar is about making high performance incubation. So we aim to enhance incubation experience for EAP startups. And this will be done actually with tailored strategies for each country. Because even if like the project has the overall aim of supporting and fostering the entrepreneurship and startup innovation ecosystems in the region, so we have transversal activities that are joined for the countries, but also specific activities tailored to the specificity of each country. So the third pillar of our project is about strengthening community ties. So in order to create an optimal landscape for startups to thrive, it's also essential to have startup-friendly legal frameworks to foster a community that provides this ground for startups to develop. So this is what we are aiming to do under this pillar to, at the national level, to strengthen connections within the innovation ecosystems. And then the 4th pillar is about promoting actually the startups on the EU stage, and also development of partnerships with the EU counterparts, EU ecosystem actors, aiming to drive sustainable growth and meaningful partnerships. And the special objectives of our project is also to support Ukraine's national recovery plan, which is also reinforced with the co-financing from the French government. So passing now to the concrete opportunities that we have now available for Ukrainian founders. Maybe one aspect to also mention about the project is that the majority of the activities will be implemented through implementing partners at the national levels. So in autumn, we are planning to launch through an implementing partner in Ukraine seed and pre-seed funding opportunities for Ukrainian startups. So I invite you to kindly follow our social media channels for the announcements on concrete things, on way and how to apply for the opportunity. We are also now having an open call with the deadline till 25 of August for business association incubators, accelerators, for an incubation program to be designed in Ukraine. So once the selection is done after the deadline, so we will also have announcements on our social media and then also on our website. Also in autumn to be launched a call for startups to participate in acceleration programs in France or EU. And here I wanted to actually speak a bit about a previous experience. So we already supported the participation of 2 Ukrainian startups in accelerator in France. It was from November 24 to April 25. And we had a very positive feedback from participants. And I also invite you to follow our social media. We launched an overview video of this acceleration program where you can see also the testimonials of the 2 founders that participated in the acceleration program. These are 2 women-led startups, and we are happy also to contribute to an inclusive growth of the and to champion actually inclusivity. And I think this is maybe one of the most exciting opportunities under Pillar 4. We have different opportunities for startups to participate in different events. So here we have the 2 next opportunities, the one that is already open. So in September, we are proud to support Tech Village in Moldova. And we are currently having call open for startups from Ukraine and from Armenia to participate in Tech Village with our financial support. So if you are interested and you would like to participate in the event, you can navigate on our social media and find all the information and where to apply for this. And we'll be also supporting Ukrainian startups to participate in Digitech in Armenia in October, but this will be launched soon. So again, like this is, I don't know, my call throughout the presentation to follow our social media and website for all the information. And I also wanted just to take a short moment to reflect a bit on the activities that, some of the activities that we already have had. So we supported the Ukraine House at Change Now together with La French Tech Kiev and Ukrainian Startup Fund. So Change Now is the largest event for the planet, and we were happy to support startups, Ukrainian startups, to participate in this event. Then we were also happy to support the Ukrainian stand at VivaTech and support participation of several Ukrainian startups at Viva Technology in Paris. And this we joined actually the initiative of the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, the Embassy of Ukraine in France, La French Tech Kiev, Ukrainian Startup Fund, and other partners. So we were happy to join this initiative. And also together with the partners, we organized on the sidelines of VivaTech an event dedicated to networking, to ensure connections between Ukrainian startups, EU investors. So it was on the 12th of June, and I also included a short feedback from one of the startups, startup founders who participated in the event and in VivaTech. So yes, this was a brief overview of our activities and opportunities that are currently available. And if you want to learn more, let's connect. So here you have our Facebook page with the QR code, Instagram page, but also LinkedIn and our website, euforinnovationist.eu. Thank you for your attention.
Lisa, thank you so much. As we agreed, I would like to ask you a few questions regarding the project and the initiative. So first things first, can you please clarify what is the best target audience? So what is the profile of entrepreneurs that you are helping with the project?
Yes, so as I also showed in the presentation, current opportunities are open for startups or innovators that are at the seed and pre-seed stages of funding, but of development, sorry. So this is one stream in terms of founders with whom we're working, but we are also working with a variety of stakeholders across the ecosystems.
So is that correct that they're not limited to one industry, but just for a level of investment and their interest in exploring these regions?
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned, the project has also a tailored approach to specific countries. So if there is following the diagnostic phase of the project, so if there are any, let's say, domains and fields that were judged as very important for the country and strategic, then specific activities and initiatives will be developed for those particular fields and sectors. But otherwise, yes, and then otherwise, depending on the country, there are different fields. So that's why it's basically let's say, very important to follow our social media channels, to have all the details and then, yeah, apply, actually.
And do you have, maybe you've already developed these kind of materials, or you're planning to develop the materials for other like foreign startups, for Ukrainian startups to get to understand the ecosystem better, not through events, but maybe some kind of soft landing guide to these countries, or any kind of events that will help understand the behavioral patterns or how the ecosystem works inside?
Actually, this is a good question, and this is also, let's say, targeted. For example, when we organized this event meant to connect Ukrainian startups with EU and French investors, previously we did a preparation session with startups with an expert who explained a bit the particularities of the French market and how would it be better to, address an investor. So it's actually tailored to the approach for the moment, rather than having an overall, let's say, document or something.
And the other question, as these countries that you are covering are like various, the founders that you're working with are from various countries. Do they have some kind of peer-to-peer networking collaboration to understand each other and to understand how the ecosystem work in each other's countries?
Yeah, actually, this is the activities, let's say, we aim to implement and already started implementing under Pillar 4, which is which is strengthening community ties. So, for example, startups, Ukrainian and Armenian startups coming to Moldova, or Ukrainian and Moldovan startups going to Digitech in Armenia. So this is basically also for them to foster connections with peers from these countries, and yeah, to build a network to have a better understanding.
And last question would be the access to the ecosystem itself. So maybe to some partners or some organizations. As I understand, you're doing it through the events, this kind of matchmaking with potential partners or customers or investors.
Not necessarily only through events, but let's say this is like I stressed, or how to say, focused on events, because this is let's say a very important part and objective of our project, because events, they help creating this networking, but also ensuring visibility and showcasing local achievements, because this is actually one of the important objectives of our project, is to ensure this visibility for Ukrainian, for EAP startups, because we are talking about five countries at EU level, but also to showcase local achievements.
Alyssa, thank you so much for your time and for finding it to help our startups explore more opportunities, and your amazing innovation. It's really important that we have you here today. So thank you for joining.
And thank you for the invitation. It was a pleasure.
Dear participants, we are moving forward, and hopefully you can see my screen, and we're moving forward to the next pillar. We will have an amazing fireside chat about impact entrepreneurship in Armenia and Georgia, ecosystems, incentives, and opportunities. And it will be moderated by my colleague, Alexandra Sandberg. So Alexandra, the floor is yours to introduce our amazing panelists, as well as to moderate the fireside chat.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. Yes, I'm so happy to be here today. And like I said in the beginning, my name is Alexandra Sandberg. I work here in Stockholm at Impact Hub. And today we're going to have a session about the local entrepreneurship ecosystem, both in Georgia as well in Armenia. And I want to begin to present Irakli Svandice from Georgia, who is Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center at the Caucasus University, as well as Georg Pogisen, sorry for my pronunciation, who is the CEO of Impact Hub Armenia. So if you would like to join me at stage, I'm so happy to have you here. And to start off, Irakli, would you like to just present yourself briefly and what you're doing?
Yes, please. Thank you, Alexandra, for this invitation. Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be the part of this webinar. My name is Irakli Svanidze, and joining you today from Georgia. And I currently serve as the director of the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center at Caucasus University. We lead a variety of programs and supporting, which are aimed actually to support early stage entrepreneurs and student startups. We run pre-acceleration incubation programs, organize mentorship, capacity building initiatives in and outside the country, regularly collaborate with both local and international partners to strengthen the innovation ecosystem. And I'm also engaged as a startup mentor and visiting lecturer, helping young founders to refine their business models, validate their ideas, scale across borders. And one of my main goals is to bridge the gap between the academia and the ecosystem itself. And I believe that the collaboration is the key, unlocking the full potential of our ecosystems. And I'm honored to be here and to represent Georgia. And I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Thank you so much, Irakli. You're doing a lot of work, so I'm so grateful that you took the time today and support our Ukrainian startups. And I want to move on to you, Jörg. Please do us the honor and introduce yourself as well.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. It's a great pleasure. I'm Gevorg, as Alexandra mentioned. I'm the CEO of Impact Hub Armenia, but I'm joining you from Impact Hub Yerevan. Basically, in Armenia, we're running 3 Impact Hubs in Gyumri, in Syunik, and in Yerevan. And our programs are quite diverse. We are supporting, as an incubator, we are supporting agri-tech startups, we are supporting creative startups, we are supporting green startups, but more focused on circular economy related startups. And we are also accelerating social enterprises. And like within the last 10 years, while we have been operational, we have supported more than 400 social enterprises in Armenia. We have recently, like 2 years ago, let's say recently, launched an impact fund where we are investing in the growth of social enterprises in Armenia. But within the regions, we are also working with individuals, trying to help them with capacity building, especially in the areas where we have like different displaced people from Artsakh, from Nagorno-Karabakh, or refugees or displaced people from around the world, because like, our region is very vulnerable. The recent, like, let's say 5 to 10 years, it has always been quite challenging. And also it is important that we try throughout our incubation programs, acceleration and the investments, we are always trying to get full support for those vulnerable businesses as well, coming from different conflict areas. So I'm happy to go deeper into any topic that you would like to go more into details.
Thank you so much for that introduction as well. And similar to Irakli, you guys are doing so much. So I'm so grateful that you're joining here today. And I want to continue with you. In Armenia, how would you describe the startup and innovation landscape? Like, what makes it unique? Any specific strength or trends you're seeing?
Yeah, actually, I think Armenia is like any other economy in terms of innovation in startups now is having kind of a transformation, because like, all this development of like AI tools has changed a lot, especially the tech ecosystem. But also when we are talking about the impact ecosystem, we have realize that there is a big shift now from like more traditional, like tech or even non-tech orientation in the startup ecosystem to more impact related startups, and also green and like climate related. In Armenia, for the recent like 5 years, there have been quite a huge growth of orientation and focus on the impact innovations. And also our colleagues were talking about the digitech that we are having. I mean, there are so many different events that are happening next year. Next week, sorry, we are going to have the 7 Startup Summit, where startups from 50 countries, like more than 400 startups, are coming together. So yeah, our Armenian startup ecosystem is like dramatically growing, and there are a lot of like support happening, and yeah, it's huge, I would say.
Yes, I feel like you said that's the trend all across the world. Like in Sweden, I don't know if you saw it, but we have Lovable, who is this app where you can code without actually coding, and they just raised, or I think they have a valuation now for like 1.8 billion. It's super.
Yeah, amazing. And also one thing I wanted to mention, that what makes Armenian startup ecosystem unique, I would say it's creativity. Because like, for example, I think lots of people, they know Pixar. Yeah, Pixar, one of the like leading creative apps and tools that we have been using, is an Armenian startup. But also the Tumor Labs that are like popping up all over the world now. So it's a Tumor Center, it's a like youth educational center for creative technologies. And they started in Yerevan, and then they grew all over the world. If I'm not mistaken, there is also one in Kiev, in Ukraine, and there is like Tumolab in Berlin, Tumolab in Paris, in Beirut, in so many places. And yeah, so creativity is one of the strong components of the Armenian ecosystem.
Super cool. And Irakli, as a neighboring country, how would you describe Georgia's startup ecosystem?
As you know, the Georgia startup and innovation landscape is quite young, but rapidly evolving. So it is the crucial thing here. Over the past few years, we have actually seen the strong momentum, especially in the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, but also increasingly in the regions. And I think that there is a growing number of early stage startups, and we are starting to see the success stories and inspiring young people consider entrepreneurship as a real career path. And one of the unique strengths of the Georgian ecosystem is its agility and tight-knit community. Startups, support organizations, governmental and non-governmental entities, and academia as universities are all well connected, and it allows for faster collaboration and communication, easier access to different resources, and programs run by GITA, which is, for example, Georgia's Innovation and Technology Agency. It is the main governmental organization in terms of spread innovation, entrepreneurship, and support all these processes in the country, as well as they support all the initiatives which happens in the country. And also the support is from universities like ours, for example, which actually play a key role in developing local talent and infrastructure. And another strength is our strategic location. Georgia serves as a gateway between Europe and Central Asia, and which creates unique opportunities for startups looking to scale regionally, right? So plus the cost of doing business is relatively low in Georgia, and there is a growing interest from international investors and partners. Um, and of course, we will still face challenges across the capital at early stages and limited experience in scaling internationally. It's still is a challenge for us. But the potential is high, and the entrepreneurial mindset is definitely growing. And what makes Georgia stand out is the drive of our young founders and the openness of ecosystem to collaborate and learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Irakli. And I want to continue on that. Do you see any specific types of startups that are thriving in your ecosystem, or is it more general?
The question is to me.
Yes, exactly. To you.
Okay. In Georgia, I can say that there are many directions, but we are seeing the strong activity in several verticals. We can say that, especially where technology addresses real local needs. And for example, fintech remains one of the most dynamic sectors, and thanks to our advanced banking infrastructure and the population openness to digital financial services. But also, these digital services is quite challenging to be used in the regions. So for older generation, for example. But still, fintech is one of the main direction of Georgian tech startups. And there's also growing momentum in agri-tech and climate-related innovations, which align with Georgia's agricultural roots and the rising demand for sustainability. We are seeing solutions in smart farming, in precision agriculture, and circular economy approaches. So one of the direction can be also HR tech, which is so popular recently in Georgia, particularly with the rise of hybrid work models and the need for better talent management tools. Gamification is integrated in most of the cases in HR tech startups, and they're mainly creating platforms from recruitment and employee engagement and performance tracking and um, which are being adopted actually by both SMEs and larger corporations as well. So tourism tech also and aid tech can be emphasized here, especially after the digital transformation pushed by the pandemic. So while deep tech is still in its early stages, we are seeing interest in AI and health diagnostics, but lacking particular research-driven teams and university spin-offs. It's a great challenge, the biggest challenge in Georgia, that we are lacking to commercialize our research-based projects. Even we are a university, but it's not so big. Internal, I don't know, maybe wish, or I don't know, maybe awareness from the academia side as well, from the researchers to commercialize their projects and to make them, to build them as a startups. At last, I can say that Georgian startups are focused on solving practical problems in scalable ways, while the ecosystem is still developing. The range of depth ideas are expanding, and the quality is continues to improve. I can say that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Irakli. And I want to continue on the sustainability perspective. It's nice to hear that you both have that trend. And Georg, I want to hear more about your work with the impact. You said you had a fund and you're supporting, of course, Impact Startup. Can you do a deep dive on that?
Sure, yes. Our incubators are like 7 years old at the moment at Impact Yerevan, and we are working with like social enterprises, helping them like startups to build their entrepreneurial like path, but also like within the last 3 years we got this focus on circular economy, and we have just started creating the ecosystem. Unfortunately, in Armenia, like uh, green economy, sustainable businesses, that this is not haven't been a trend, you know. Like I think in the region it's quite a challenge, not only in Armenia, but well, what we were able to build is really amazing, because we have created a coalition of like very important players within the country. We have brought together like policy makers, researchers, and like academic people from different universities, but also a lot of like very important business consultants all together in one coalition, where we have built the knowledge around like circular economy. And now we can see that like this has become quite a focus for not only Impact Urban, but many other organizations. Like we have one of the universities in Armenia, they started their own kind of like separate project on circular economy. The government started working on the regulations and the papers. So as an ecosystem, it is amazing. But also what we have done is we have brought to Armenia a Netherlands-based certification, certificated training for the small businesses and the startups to really make their value chains circular. And we have been working with like 25 up to now 25 businesses to transform their like linear value chain to circular. So this is one of the very, very interesting projects that we have done. But also within our impact fund, as I mentioned, we have started investing in social enterprises. Unfortunately, social enterprises have always had the access to grants mostly, but what we have in our mind is to shift them from grant-oriented financing to more like business-oriented, because we all know that how grants are working, it's always very helpful, but also it is not the best motivational financial product for the social enterprises. So at the moment we have been investing in line with the grants, with also some debt financing. And we have partnered with with one of the biggest investment funds in Armenia, which is also running which is also managing one of the pension funds in Armenia, and it is an Austria-based asset management company, Tek Kvadrat Ampega. And together we are investing in the growth of social enterprises, not only providing them bigger, like funds available, because grants are always very limited, very small, and it is mostly for like covering one or two, like challenges, or to help them to overcome anything. But now, first time we are working with them on their growth plan, and then we are investing in implementing this plan. And within Armenia, we have had already 11 investments within the last like 2 years, which is really amazing for us. And we have seen more growth than they had planned. For example, one of our social enterprises, they are packing napkins together with kids and youth from their rehabilitation center. These are mostly kids with autism. So they are working on packing the napkins. With our investment, they could double their revenue and double the engagement of the youth kids into the process. So these are some cases that are really proud of, and we are really happy that we have organizations like, for example, Tek Kvadrat Ampega, which is a standard asset management company, investment company. They are now focused on impact and social entrepreneurship as well. And in line with our partnership, they also have their own focus on investing in impact startups. Another partner is the Armtech Impact Fund. Also, they launched like recently, several months ago, and they have already had their first investment. So we see that there are a lot of opportunities for impact startups, impact businesses to get investment, which is really, really very encouraging.
It's amazing to hear that you already made your first investments and you have some success cases. It makes me so happy. And actually, time is running out, so I'm just going to ask one last question, even though I would love to hear more. And I'm going to ask you first, Georg. What would you recommend a Ukrainian startup before entering the Armenian market? Like, what should one think about?
I would just suggest to get connected, because connection and network is the most important thing when we are entering a new market. Impact Hub Yerevan is very open to anyone who can join. We also have very good different partners in Ukraine as well. We have been working with SILAB for the last 5 years, and there is also the Ukrainian Impact Fund, which we are partnering with our VIA fund, and we know the landscape as well. Armenia is a very open.
I think you're froze, but I also want to say we actually have a collaboration with Impact Hub Armenia for discounted co-working places. So if you're interested in that, now you also know that Armenia is very attractive. And meanwhile, Irakli's screen is frozen. Oh, sorry, not right. Georg's screen is frozen. Irakli, do you want to share some tips before joining the Georgian market?
So Georgia offers different unique combination of strategic strategic location and supportive policies and fast-growing innovation culture that makes actually very attractive destination for both collaboration and market expansion, maybe for foreign country startups. And first, geographically, Georgia is a natural bridge between EU and Central Asia and Middle East. So we have a free trade agreement with EU and China and several other countries, which actually means startups expanding from Georgia can access over 2.3 billion consumers duty-free. So it's a major advantage for product scaling and international trade. Secondly, the business environment actually is very friendly. Georgia is ranks among the top countries for ease of doing business. The business registration only takes a couple of days and a couple of minutes in terms for the residents of Georgia, and for non-residents it takes only a couple of days. and a lean regulatory framework as well. So setting up a company here takes just a few minutes. That's all. And for Ukrainian founders, especially, there is a a sense of familiarity and strong people to people ties. Actually, in fact, we have seen a number of Ukrainian startups and professionals relocate or collaborate with Georgian partners since 2022 and integrate quickly into the ecosystem. So, from the investment perspective, costs of operation like infrastructure and legal setup and talent are much more lower than in most EU countries, while the talent pool is growing in the areas like AI or cybersecurity or fintech and healthcare. So finally, there is a strong will for regional cooperation for sure. Many local programs like um, which are announced by GITA, Georgia's Innovation Technology Agency, universities, private accelerators, Georgia's Angel Investment Network, Axel. Um, they are now seeking all of them cross-border partnerships and innovation opportunities. So locally, regionally, launching and finding strategic partners. I think that Georgia is increasingly open and ready for it.
Thank you so much, Irakli. It sounds very attractive. And I was actually in Georgia last year, and I can really highlight everything you said. And Georg, you're back. And would you like to repeat what you said? Because it also sounds
I'm
very
very
attractive.
sorry for this connection problem. Just the last part, I think I would just mention again that like Armenia is a small but very well connected country, and it is really also very easy. Just like in Georgia, it's very easy to do business in Armenia, register a business. But also within the last years, we have received a lot of different international startups to come and start working in Armenia, and Impact Hub community is a very strong and powerful community of like more than 350 entrepreneurs from like like businesses, SMEs, but also in the startup ecosystem with investors. So we will always be very happy to get connected to any startup or any business from Ukraine if they will look through expansion in Armenia. We are happy to mentor them and also get them connected to the right partners or people. We are very, very open to any businesses here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I love that both of your ecosystems seems to be so open. And I said it was the last question, but I also saw a question in the chat. So if you just be with me for one more minute from Alexander or Alexander. What are the sources of funding for these kind of accelerators? And what is an average funding check for a social startup? I know you, Georg, you said you were more of investment, but you also still have this grant program. How does it look?
Yes, basically our average investment is around like 50,000 euros. We have different like type of compilations, but mostly it's like around 20,000 maybe can go as a grant. The other 30,000 goes as a debt investment. But it's only our fund that I'm bringing the kind of like example. There are other funds available with like higher tickets, but the social enterprises in Armenia we are focusing, they are quite like on an early growth stage. That is why our tickets are like around 50,000. And yeah, but we are reinvesting every year after they get their paybacks and also they have their milestones achieved.
Thank you. And Irakli, do you have something similar or some kind of grant?
Actually, we do have a lot of different opportunities here in Georgia. The recent and the biggest one, which I'm very proud of, is the new initiative which was announced by Georgia's Innovation Technology Agency, which is that there is a major new opportunity underway, which means that the innovative startup acceleration program in Georgia will be launched in 2026. And the main international experienced accelerators are very open to collaborate with Georgian government and other institutions as well. There, as I have the information, there are the 17 international accelerators who have applied for this grant competition, which means that they have to make all this incubation process and program for which will last for 4 years for Georgian startups. And This international acceleration program will be made as a huge accelerators as our Seed Stars and Founder Institute and 500 Global and US Mark and some others. So 17 subtotal, and only 4 will be selected for this particular program. There are also some structured acceleration programs which are already implemented in Georgia, like 500 Global in Tbilisi. They are already announcing the 9th batch for their acceleration program. Impact Hubs Incubator is also very popular in Georgia. And our own pre-acceleration and incubation programs, like our university and some other universities, are also providing all these opportunities to young startups, young entrepreneurs, and all this mentorship and access to local and international experts and investor connections. All these opportunities are created and made in order to boost innovation in the country. And one last participant who I'm very proud of because we collaborate a lot with Georgia's angel investor network, Axel. It is the first formal angel investor network in Georgia, launched in 2023 to strengthen early stage funding and foster a culture of startup investment. And it brings together experienced business leaders, entrepreneurs, and different professionals which are committed to supporting Georgian startups. And the key roles of them includes is connected early stage startups with active angel investors, organizing pitch events, screening sessions, and training workshops for founders and investors, and encouraging co-investment opportunities and collaboration with regional and international agent networks. And I'm also very happy that they are engaged in our acceleration program at the university, and their angel investors actually work with our startups. So it is one of the huge benchmark which I would like to mention as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you both to you, Irakli and Georg. It was amazing to hear. I wish we had more time because both of the ecosystem really looks amazing. We're running out of time, so I just want to say a big thank you and give the floor to Anastasia. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was an amazing fireside chat, and I'm really grateful for you joining us today and sharing your experience. Right now, I'm super happy and excited to welcome our next guest. It's Farid Husseinov, and he will be talking about Azerbaijan market insights, trends, opportunities, and growth drivers. Farid is an internal innovations and program manager at Pasha Holding. Farid, hi.
Hello over there. I hope you can listen me very well.
Yes, all is great.
Perfect. Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Happy that you've joined. You're welcome to share your screen and tell us
All
more
right,
about
great.
the
I
insights.
think I'll start with a quick introduction first because I'm sure this will be, we're trying to make it beneficial for the founders. Just giving an overall overview of the country, we can get some info from the internet, basically around like 75 billion of GDP, but the non-oil sector is growing. It's around like 6-7% already, and the investment towards innovation in Azerbaijan is growing so much. So many innovation hubs has been launched. We are having the region's almost biggest innovation summit, and then so many startups. Ecosystem has been growing up and investments coming in. So as Pasha Holding, so I'm representing the biggest conglomerate over here. One of our key pillars is innovation. So I think I will first start with this on talking. I think I'll share my entire screen just so I can and switch up fast. So I wish you can see it. All good?
Yes, we
Oh,
can
that's
see
good.
it.
Perfect. Yeah. So a simple purpose, we act as a responsible corporate citizen, just to make sure that, the lives of people in Azerbaijan and beyond are, enhanced and that there's a value. Um, Not going through the corporate values, it's just trying to dwell in fast whatever founders need. So we have financial and non-financial assets. We have banks, insurance, we have a separate ecosystem for payments, consumer bank, the e-commerce partners, and technology and insurance. And that's where I'm mostly focused as my job and responsibility right now. But at the same time, we have the non-financial businesses, supermarkets, agriculture companies, construction, etc., and travel. So the coverage is very huge, and this is beneficial for the startups. And how we can do it, I'll explain later. We are represented in 5 different countries: Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey, Montenegro, and Uzbekistan. More than 14 billion USD of total assets, and more than 20K of people are working in our group. And so they are making impact to the different clusters, and one of them is definitely innovation. We do external, internal innovation, and events, which is probably the interesting part for the founders who are watching this. And keeping this, I'm switching directly to the um, second presentation, which I hope you see as well, right?
All is great. Mm-hmm.
Which is Emerge Innovation Summit. So as the conglomerate is bigger, and then we are making an impact to the economy directly, one of the questions always arises: what do we do for the innovation in the country? And what we do is we have our internal innovation programs. We do launch startups from internally investing in them throughout those 20K people, and then we allow them to give their ideas. But for externally, we do scouting, we do events, we do investments. So there, and then just for you to shortly recap, if you are a founder outside of Azerbaijan, there are really good opportunities because global startups are really, really respected here. And I would say all the investments last year, like more than half of them went to actually the global founders. So there's a really, really good opportunity as well. But there's also IDDA, Sabah Hub, the other players who are also doing great jobs in the ecosystem. But I'm going to talk about Emerge. But if you are interested in other events, we have Baku ID specifically focused on startups. They had more than 1.5 million USD investments on the last event. But when it comes to Emerge, we are focusing on Azerbaijan, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. I mean, this year we started to go to each of these countries and make startup related events and corporate events. Just yesterday I was in Uzbekistan, and just a couple of weeks ago I was in Kazakhstan, in Tbilisi, in Istanbul, and at the same time we have focused on Eastern Europe and MENA region. And I've just checked applications before I jumped in to this session. We have received those applications from Africa recently. And what's the great benefit is definitely you get access to great verticals, because this event is not specifically, I would say, focusing on just come as a startup and get your investments, but also there are really good panels and sessions that would benefit you. So just as an example, we had Steve Wozniak, Chris Barton, Lisa, and then Linda Hill, Steve Chen, the co-founder of YouTube, joining us. And this year we have already 3 speakers confirmed, like Mark Randolph, co-founder of Netflix, co-founder of Pixar, Ed Catmull will join us, and Zach will join us from OpenAI. And we have also 2 more speakers that will soon be announced. So keep in, let's say, following us. But this wouldn't be possible without, the ecosystem agencies and innovation hubs. We have different ministries, innovation hubs joining us to make this real, and we are trying to make it every year better, bigger, possible. So for startups, 90 plus, I would say around 100 startups we had last year, and we matchmake them with investors like in a simple format. You can imagine like in an Excel format. We had in a separate room for them. They matchmade, and we didn't have a focus, to be honest. And then in the middle of the event, startups came to me saying that, hey, I got an investment. What should I do next? And then I got an investment. Another startup comes in. Another startup messaged me, and then um, we deep dived in and learned that officially they raised more than 600K. They took pictures, they shared it, but that wasn't the focus. The main focus was on actually uh, the big fund on the pitching event, which was the 20K investment. So basically, if you come to Emerge, one of the things is that your accommodation is fully covered and your tickets are fully covered as a startup if you come outside the country. And this is a very good benefit for the global founders. Now the price is increased to 30K USD. It's a grant, no equity. And we are inviting the investors, as you see here. They're great people. I know all of them almost, and they're very friendly. They're open to listen to all of you from early stage to senior startups. We had around 2, 3 Ukrainian startups applying last year. We had SkillGrow, we had Misto. I don't remember the other. I think it was like card related digital cards application. So basically, this year we decided to divide startups into 3 categories, because what we understood is some startups, because their valuation is too high, they don't need this 30K. It's a very small number for them. What they are looking for is to expand to Azerbaijan. They want to come here, establish here, get some clients. And because Pasha Holding is a big conglomerate, because we have, so many financial assets, they wanted to try out, make POC or become clients, right? So we decided to bring actually senior startup definition, unlike last year. So if you have early stage startups with access to pitching stage, you go pitch in front of investors if they are interested in. Like last year, we had a direct investment on the pitching stage. Like one of the investors, it was just jury member, and then he said that, hey, I'm interested in your startup. I would like to invest. Please meet me outside. And seniors will arrange a corporate matchmaking for them. So prior to the event, I will send you the list of, together with my team, the list of companies that we have, the list of companies, not just of Pasha Holding, but the whole Azerbaijan, also the outside the country, like Uzbekistan, Turkey, Georgia, Kazakhstan, joining the event. You as a startup, go through the list and select, hey, I would like to meet with this company. Please arrange 15-minute meeting with me. And we do arrange it manually, so it's likely a concierge service, I would say. Um, so you got access to all of those benefits. Well, uh, basically that's it. And shortly about the investor side, we invite top VCs, LPs. There are going to be insightful discussions. So as we have startup stage, we are going to have VC stage. You can gain all the insights as you wish, and then that's it. So that's a long presentation. I don't want to take much of because I know so many questions, but the event is getting bigger. I would say maybe it's an appropriate word, but it's getting crazier, but better at the same time, because I know in a founder world we like the word crazy. And but it's really amazing to be in this and then seeing how it actually grows up, from the sponsor wise as well, from the participant wise as well, and that's it. Well, if you're interested in, join us, apply, and then because we love startups, we would like to really help you up. And as you saw from the presentation, our focus is basically on mainly on global startups. So, well, feel free. I hope it wasn't boring. Yeah.
Very, thank you so much. It was just what we needed, some opportunities, to engage with the local market and to get to understand what are the entry points for Ukrainian startups to engage with the market. So thank you so much. As I understood correctly, how does the participant can connect through LinkedIn or just finding the opportunity via Google?
With me, you can just directly type my name and connect. And I'm trying to not ignore any of the. I wouldn't say I'm trying to. I'm never ignoring any of the founders because let me tell you this. In Azerbaijan, even though our GDP is more like 75 billion, and the country is big compared to the number of the startups we have. It's just like around 120 startups, and there is a lot of opportunities and a lot of gaps for global startups to fill in. Like if you just bring AI agentic startup, there will be definitely at least 5 B2B customers for you. And if you are a B2B startup, there's a big win for you. So just send me your connection, or any of the Pasha Holding innovation team. We love startups. That's what our slogan stands for. Connect us on LinkedIn or email us at innovations@pashaholding.com.az. And we'll be happy to jump in and help you, even though you are not part of InMerge, you are not part of any of our events. We still do our best to help you and introduce to the companies, because that's their scope to actually make POC and scouting with startups. They have separate budget, they have separate KPIs for that.
Farid, thank you so much, and for your presentation, and also for being so open-hearted and welcoming to help founders. This is really important and meaningful. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, keep in touch. Then any questions, I will be here around.
Sure. Thank you so much. And we are moving forward. Right now, we will have a fireside chat. We will have a fireside chat with Hanna Mishko. She's a regional director for Ukraine, Moldova, and Gulf states at Strategist. And we'll talk about Central Asia today. What are the opportunities, challenges, and practical entry points for Ukrainian tech companies? So Hanna, I know you're here. Hello.
Yeah, hello, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us for this interactive discussion. And I would really love to start with your current role. Can you briefly tell me about the role of strategist and its key goals and how it connects to the Central Asia region?
As Anastasia mentioned, my role as a regional director, I'm covering Ukraine, Moldova, and the Gulf states, and I'm personally working closely a lot with the Central Asian countries and the stakeholders and the ecosystem when it comes to working with them and exposing them to international markets, specifically to the Gulf states, but also presenting them to other regions like Eastern European region or Caucasus and connecting the dots between them. As a strategist, a bit about the organization, we are non-for-profit, we are US registered, and our main aim is to support Central Asia, Caucasus, and the Eastern European countries with development of digital economies. But our global mission for us is to create a society of equal opportunities through the digital skills and digital economies, but also, which is very much important for us, especially these days, to integrate these regions and these countries into a trusted IT ecosystem, which we believe is very much important when it comes to the building partnerships and collaborations. With the Central Asia, we have an office in Kyrgyzstan, but also offices in Ukraine and Georgia, because we are working regionally with those regions as well. But for Central Asia, it takes a special place in our hearts because we are working a lot with Central Asia when it comes to digital skills and development of digital skills there. We've been part of Tekorda, for example, in Kazakhstan, which is a huge educational skills program back in 2021 to kind of launch it all in the country to push forward more when it comes to digital skills. And we are also closely working with Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan to expose them to the Gulf region and to show that Central Asia has a lot of capabilities to show to other regions as well. And we see a growing interest there, basically towards the international companies, but also towards the international markets.
Thank you for this overview. And could you please elaborate on how you help Ukrainian founders and how do you see the region's openness towards the Ukrainian founders?
I would say that we can see the kind of openness of this region to grow because we see that a lot of startups already coming to international markets from Central Asia, like Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. They are growingly opening and entering the Gulf states, for example, and that we see that this market can grow the startup very good. So they can actually enter the international market, adapt the product, and be part of the international market. But at the same time, the level of development in, for example, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan for now, with their venture funds and also with their programs to develop the startups and the level of international events for the international exposure, like Digital Bridge in Kazakhstan, for example, is very much a good event to see and explore the market, but at the same time meet all the stakeholders and understand how to operate there. ICT Week in Uzbekistan, also KIT Forum in Kyrgyzstan. There are special forums in Tajikistan as well, even though the market is smaller than other markets I've mentioned before. But we see the growing attention to the international market. We see the strong KPIs inside the countries to develop digital economies. Uzbekistan has huge KPIs, and I suppose my colleague from Uzbekistan will share with you more because the export, for example, of their tech sector is growing exponentially, and basically that shows that they're very welcoming to international startups and to international companies to enter the market, but at the same time that the market is ready because the market is actually huge. We see at the same time very much developed ecosystem in Kazakhstan through the private sector, for example, because the private sector was actually who pushed this whole digital ecosystem forward here. And basically, the idea on how to educate people on digital skills was pushed by the private sector, by their major banks, by introducing some digital solutions into the financial ecosystem. And that's how they started to grow, because people was ready to kind of understand the digital skills and use them, but at the same time, the market was also ready to open up the startups, to reform the judicial system as well, because Kazakhstan made a lot of effort to reform the judicial system. They opened up and created the specific Astana International Financial Center for kind of having the independent judicial system for investors to rely on, because that was one of the major problems for these countries to expose them to international investors and partners, because not that much transparency was there back then, and Kazakhstan solved it in their way to creating this specific independent system, so the investors can rely on this and invest in their own startups. So for now, if you would like to enter the Central Asian market, you can enter Kazakhstan, and then you have the access to all other Central Asian countries, and that's how the country pushed actually towards this openness and entering their market as well. You are muted, Anastasia. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Sorry. You have. I was telling that you have such an amazing and deep understanding of these markets, and this is like super interesting to listen to your insights and understanding of differences. I would like to ask you about the challenges that you see that the tech companies and founders face while building this go-to-market strategy and trying to find the right partnership, right investors, and also through these challenges, maybe you can point on the key key things that can help Ukrainian startups and founders to enter these markets.
I would say that for sure at least quick research on the markets is very much necessary, because the countries are different. They have different internal ecosystems, both political and economic. You need to understand how the decisions are making from top to grassroots, or from grassroots to top, for example, and also to at least understand the mapping of those who are working on the technological ecosystem field. For example, for Uzbekistan, the amazing entry point is IT Park, because they are those who are actually scouting the startups, developing and implementing the strategy. And so basically they are those who are responsive. Yeah, I know that you will have the speaker and they will tell you more about that. At the same time, I see that also our partners from Kazakhstan, Astana Hub is very good idea to kind of keep at least the first point of contact with them, just to understand what are the priorities if they're interested. Because for some of the markets, sometimes you need to adapt your product, and that's might be also the solution for these countries. So to understand which country will be the best entry point for you is kind of needs some research, but at the same time, you need some boots on the ground for sure. I would not suggest for 100% to hire someone from Uzbekistan, for example, to scout in Uzbekistan, or someone from Kazakhstan, but at least someone from Ukrainian team to go to the country to expose yourself to the stakeholders, to understand how they work, what they are seeking for, even to understand if your product is interesting on this specific market, or maybe another country will be more interesting, because right now it's their priority within their strategy and developing the ecosystem. And also among probably the challenges, I would say that the ecosystems is growing very much and very fast, and it might be that your product is not necessarily a good fit for now, but in several years it will be better fit, or maybe you need to develop your product more to enter this market. And at the same time, the good idea is to explore the venture funds, because the funds are there. You have this capital in several of these countries, and you have the market at the same time, and the market is ready to receive the digital products. But to twickle the product and understand the timing, you definitely need someone to be there and to understand and to feel if you are ready to enter the market, because that's not that hard, but each country is different and markets are different. And I mentioned the events before. For some of the countries, I've seen that the guys from Pasha Holding said about the InMerge in Caucasus as well. And there are some big events in Georgia, and all these countries have their own major flagship events. And for my honest point of view, that's the best opportunity for you to understand the market and to meet people there. They are very much open, specifically during these events, to schedule not only meetings during the event but also on the sidelines. That's the best idea to understand the market. As strategist, I would also be humble and honest here. We are also open to help because we know the ecosystem very well. We are working with the governments and we are also working with the ecosystem level, but also with the specific startups. So will be very happy to navigate and help you navigate the markets. And then you're going to hubs, parks, and you're ready to proceed.
Hanna, thank you so much. That was super helpful and detailed. How can we connect with strategists? What is the best link approach to you guys?
I would suggest that I definitely can share my LinkedIn, and that's the easiest way to do so. We are also very much open in our communication when it comes to all our activities. We are working closely with many ecosystem stakeholders in Ukraine as well. So please contact me or anyone you see working as strategist on LinkedIn, and we will be happy to help you. And yeah, we're welcome. I see that Central Asian market could be a very good fit for the Ukrainian startups, but you definitely need to do some groundwork to understand the markets.
Hanna, that was amazing. Thank you for being here and for agreeing to share your experience and the insights for this market. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for your time, and I will be happy to hear the colleagues from IT Park and Astana Hub on their introductions and presentations. Thank you.
Wonderful. And this was the greatest intro to our next speaker from IT Park Uzbekistan. We have Jamaluddin Shaikov, and he will share from access to impact Uzbekistan's tech landscape and IT Park's role. He is the chief manager for investment at IT Park Uzbekistan. I know that you're here. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, you have an amazing background. Okay.
Yeah, it's like ICT Week, the biggest event in tech event in Uzbekistan.
We are ready for your presentation.
Thank you very much. Just
screen.
a second. Yeah. Is it visible?
Oh, great.
Great. It's great to see you all here. My name is Jamaluddin, and I'm working at IT Park Uzbekistan. IT Park Uzbekistan is the main driver of digital growth in Uzbekistan and the Ministry of Digital Technology. We are a governmental organization. Today, I'll give you a quick overview of Uzbekistan, share how IT Park supports startups and promotes IT service expert. Why Uzbekistan? Uzbekistan is top 3 globally in financial activeness by Kearney. And we are among safest countries in the world, and the first one in Central Asia for political stability and its place in the world in business registration. And you can see Uzbekistan economy has more than doubled since 2017 and have 54 double taxation agreement with 54 countries. I'm so sorry. Is it hearable? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So we have 54 double taxation agreements, and let's move to the talent availability. It's I should notice that more than half population of Central Asia living in Uzbekistan. It's around 37 million people, and 65% of this population is under 35 years old. It means our population is very young, very young. And right now we have more than 80 IT universities with 300K graduate from IT-related programs annually. And already we have 203K employed IT experts. We are top one English-speaking country in Central Asia and have 5 million English speakers. It's the highest in Central Asia. And also here you can see the cost of the experts in Uzbekistan. So if you talk about the infrastructure, we have built a nationwide network with 14 branches. We have branches in each region of Uzbekistan. It means even in Tashkent, when we have headquarters, we have branch with the co-working space and everything that will be necessary for IT company. And also have 5 international offices like in US, Germany, Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, and have 56 incubation centers among universities. And one thing I should notice that the data vault data center is under construction right now and will be ready till 2030. Here is the initiatives backed by government. So we offer membership program. Like with the membership program, IT companies will be free from all taxes. It's corporate taxes, land taxes, social taxes. Despite 2 taxes, also these 2 taxes are decreased. For example, tax on dividends decreased from 10% to 5%, and personal income tax decreased from 12% to 7.5%. And also with our membership, you can pay salaries and dividends in foreign currency. And also you will not, here is no work permit needed. So also it's the sweetest program. It's a zero risk for, we're ready to give you free office, partial HR coverage, up to 5K training support, and salary co-founding up to 15%. Yeah, that's all for this page. And soft landing and member support. So we provide end-to-end support. We have one-stop shop program. We are ready to help you with legal registration, bank setup, talent recruitment, and most importantly, we have IT visa. With this IT visa will be valid for 3 years, giving you near citizen rights to founders and for your employees. And also your company can be fully operational in 6 to 8 weeks. Also, we are establishing Enterprise Uzbekistan to be international financial center with the common law. It's, I think it's a next step of the IT park. So let's move to the startup ecosystem, where Uzbekistan jumped 12 spots in Startup Blink rating, reaching 98th position globally. It's our first time being in top 100. Last year, our startup raised $69.5 million venture investments. It's 11 times more than 2023. We have right now 400, more than 400 active startups, and mostly these startups is in fintech area and edtech and AI. If we talk about this startup development and how we support startup, we have 8 startup studios among country, which generate every month startups, and also we have Tomorrow's Tech and Present Tech Award competitions. With Present Tech Award, for example, with the total prize fund $1 million, it will be given by like a grant. Also have accelerator partnerships like with Alchemist, Plug and Play, Draper University, and so on. And also we're ready to cover booths and tickets in global forums like TechCrunch, Web Summit, JITEX, and etc. Also, we have Digital Startups program. It's a government-backed program. We're ready to reimburse your cost, all the cost of the patent and trademarks. We're ready to cover up to 50% of the acceleration participation and trainers. Also have 1+1 program, which is if you raise investment from any international venture fund, we are ready to double it. And for the last year, we over 90 startups went global under the Central Asia Innovation Hub initiative. This initiative made by IT Park Uzbekistan and Astana Hub. We know that separately we are just small countries, but together we are representing something big. And if you talk about the venture capital, right now it's 13. We have 13 local venture funds with 150 million in capital that is ready to invest. Also, we have our venture fund, IT Park Ventures, and we are ready to invest up to $1.5 million. Also, we have startup base platform. You can check it. Here is the all information that you need about our ecosystem. And if you talk about the global present and export, more than 45% of our IT export go to North America. And right now we have more than 2,900 member companies, and including 700 with foreign capital. And also we created more than 40,000 jobs by our residents. And that's all, I think. If anyone will have any question, you can just text me via LinkedIn. And also, I should notice that as a fast-growing ecosystem, we have some problems like lack of startups. For example, we have money to invest, but we don't have enough startups in our pipelines. For this reason, I think it's proper time to expand your business to Uzbekistan and raise investments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jamaluddin, for your concise and very sharp presentation. I've heard so many great stuff and recommendation and feedback about your IT park, and it's a pleasure that you were able to join and share it with our participants. Hopefully, they will find a way to connect and to get these opportunities, to interact with your ecosystem. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And we are moving forward, and now I want to tell you, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
wonderful. It's one of my favorite parts when we invite Ukrainian founders to share their experience and their knowledge on the local market. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to CBDO and co-founder at Platma, Yaroslav Kologrivov. We will talk about first steps and lessons in the region. And I know, Yaroslav, that you are here already. Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi everyone. Anastasia, thank you for the intro. So colleagues, let me share my screen. I would like to show you a short presentation.
Of course.
Okay, here it is. Just let me know, can you see my screen?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Okay, so our story about our proactive position in Central Asia, especially in Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. So I would like to start from the short, brief overview of the Platma. What is Platma? So it's Ukrainian startup. We started a couple years ago, and we decided to create, we call it extreme no-code software development platform, or vibe code platform. So we realized that we have to help a lot of SMBs to eliminate their routine. And in this way, the only way how to solve it, we have to create platform which will be which will not require knowledge of languages of programming and so on, but the platform should know language which is used by SMB owners, let's say. So it's natural language as a code. So this is our main solution that we implemented in Platma. So we created two products. Basically, it's one product, and another was developed on the base of the first product. So the first product was create extreme no-code software development platform for SMBs. Then SMBs will start to use it, and then on the top of it, when we will understand which sector is more interested in this solution, we will create on the top, we call it operating system for businesses. And at the moment, our main clients is banks. which work with SMBs. So we help banks transform them from bank 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 up to bank 6.0. When bank and the SMB, it's one solid unit, and bank, it's kind of department of the its customer. So they exchanging data, and bank offer precisely solutions for the SMB, their products, and a lot of insights how to maintain business in a more effective way. So just to put you in the context what this Platma is. By the way, this slide is a little bit outdated. We just today received one more offer from one more investor, and now at the moment we raised 3.5 million, and our valuation is 40 millions. So here you have a list of the investors. Our lead investor, it's US-based Almaz Capital. We also received investment from Alchemist, Startup-wise guys, but the most interesting story started from Central Asia. When we started from Super Angel, and I believe this is probably the first and very important part of your journey to Central Asia, is to pitch your project to Murat Abrakhmanov. It's a Super Angel who is investing a lot in Central Asia, but he really loves startups from Ukraine. He invests in many Ukrainian startups in a very, very early stage. At the moment, he started to invest, by the way, in pre-seed startups as well. So once Murat Abrakhmanov invests in your company, that means that you have a line of all investors from Central Asia, and not only from Central Asia. So that was our strategical step. So we reached him, we presented to him, and then he realized, hey, it's interesting for me. Let's do that. And he invested on a very early stage of our startup. By the way, he wanted even to close the whole round, but he would like us to put the cap. But we didn't put the cap until the end of the last year. So we gave him at the very beginning a discount 20%. But the next investment, he also invests in the end of the next year another portion of investment, and then he received the cap. At the moment, he already have 4x with our startup without the exit at the moment. But once Murat invested, we also received this line from Central Asia amazing funds like Most Ventures, like EA Group, like Tomar Ventures, like Aloka, Caucasus Ventures, Activat VC, and many others. And this is one of the very important aspect to reach this region, is to have local investor, which is very famous there, and he's like a benchmark. So if Murat Abrakhmanov invested, that means this project is quite interesting. So let's take a look. The second aspect, you have to be on the radars. So you have to meet the stakeholders of this ecosystem. So in such way, we already see the presentation from the colleagues from Baku, but we also attend all the conferences in this region. And it helps us to reach investors and help us to reach customers, because it's like triangle. You have to communicate with investors, you have to be on the radar, and you have to communicate with customers. And all your success in these three directions will escalate other parallels. So once you receive the client, investors interested more in your solution. Once you received investment from very famous and successful investor, clients will talk to you with absolutely different mood, let's say. So, of course, we took part in ICT Uzbekistan, and by the way, we signed their agreement with Aloka Ventures, which open us access to banks. So we started from Aloka. At the moment, we also received investments from Uzcard. Uzcard, it's national payment system like Visa or MasterCard in Europe or globally. They have their own Uzcard, and they connected with all the banks. So we realized, okay, we have the product for the bank. We have Aloka. Aloka Ventures is also part of the Aloka Bank, quite big bank in Uzbekistan. Okay, how we should go to other banks? Okay, let's find the strategical partner. We realized it's Uzcard. So we sold our license to Uzcard, and then Uzcard realized that we have products which help them be more interesting and be more effective for the bank system. And through the Uzcard, we at the moment launching our product on the base of all banks of the Uzbekistan. We didn't sign the agreement with all banks, but our strategy during the next 2 years to close all the banks. Of course, we took part in Baku ID and a couple times, and here we were recognized as one of the startups which deserve to receive the investments. And by the way, mostly all investors from that event invested in Platform. And one more thing, we even create our own conferences. We call it No Code, and we try to launch it every at least 2-4 times every year in different areas, including Central Asia region. So here is our summit in Baku. Also, we have our summit in Almaty and in other regions as well. As you also heard and you saw the presentation of IT Park, I also highly recommend you to join and to start your journey in Uzbekistan from IT Park, because they gave a lot of opportunities, starting from taxation, soft landing, and many other stuff. So it's an amazing tool. We also part of the IT Park, and we're extremely happy that we can use all these opportunities. Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, and especially Uzbekistan, is extremely interesting for our even Western partners and clients like ASECO, for example. By the way, I'm in Tashkent these days. I'm talking with you from sunny and very hot Tashkent today. Just yesterday, ASECO team left the country, and we had a full week meetings with banks and Uzcard, because Western company would like to start to work with Uzbekistan, and through startups which already started their business there, it's much more faster. So we also received offer from ASECO, even for exit strategy, just because we already started our business here. In Kazakhstan, we of course part of Most Hub, and extremely happy to use all the opportunities and support from this amazing organization, and also highly recommend you to join this solution. One more important thing for Central Asia, one of the benchmark is GCC countries like United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and so on and so on. So to help us to be more effective in Central Asia, we also launch our activity in GCC market. So here we have the photo where DFC, it's Dubai International Financial Center, it's their main free zone. They recognize us as a best startup of 2024. It's also help us to go to Central Asia from absolutely different perspectives. And here you can see pavilion, Kazakhstan pavilion, where Platform also were presented, because we have office in Kazakhstan, we have employees from Kazakhstan. 2 of co-founders were born in Kazakhstan, the Ukrainians, including me, but we were born in Kazakhstan. So we also received even spot in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, at the Kazakhstan pavilion. And here you can see we are pitching to the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Kazakhstan. And after that, we started our journey with government of Kazakhstan. So as a result, we have amazing clients and investors in this region, which help us to grow as fast as possible. You can see yesterday our population was 20 million, today is 40 million. So I'm joking, it's not in a day, but it's less than a year. We doubled our valuation only because of our clients in Central Asia, in Uzbekistan, in Kazakhstan. And this market is growing extremely fast. Even our Western clients and partners like ASECO, it's a huge. ASECO covered 50% of all banks in Europe and 90% in Italy, and they believe that Central Asia, especially Uzbekistan, is the most prompt market. It's a very fast-growing market. 60% of population is below 30, so they feeling that there will be a huge boom, and we see it because we are in the middle of this ecosystem. We see that it's much more easier to do business here than, for example, in Europe. So according to the strategy, we have investors from Central Asia, we have amazing market here, we have clients here, our office is growing here rapidly, faster than in other regions. So highly recommend you to use all these opportunities that you saw during today's session. and we'll see after my presentation. So it's amazing to have business here. Yeah, and a couple more examples. It's one more bank from United Arab Emirates that we also acquired after Central Asia, because for GCC market, they interested in new high-tech solutions, but they afraid to implement something which is not implemented somewhere else. But after Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and other markets, you can go to them with cases, and it's absolutely different position. You can sign the agreement much more faster than the pilot without any previous implemented projects. So basically, that's all. I'm ready to answer the question if you have, and if it's part of this presentation. So thank you for your attention.
Yaroslav, thank you so much. That was an amazing and very detailed presentation for all of the founders on how to, build this present step by step. Appreciate you taking time to create it. The first follow-up question would be, when you were considering the global markets and choosing the go-to-market strategy, what was the reason behind choosing the Central Asia and then sticking to it, to develop there? What are the how did you sense that you have to go there?
Yes, it wasn't our insight from the very beginning. So we didn't, when we launched Platma, we realized, okay, we will start in Ukraine, then we will go to European countries, and then final step is US, North America. But when we realized how it's difficult to work in Europe because of many reasons, including that they have legacy, a lot of solutions already there, they don't want to change anything, and so on and so on. But US was quite far away and a little bit more expensive than Europe and Central Asia, because you cannot build anything without presence there. In Central Asia as well, by the way. So we have offices in Kazakhstan, we have offices in Uzbekistan, which is growing very fast. It's very important to be here. And then when Murat Abdurrahmanov decided to invest it, we realized, hey, let's start this region. We decided to go to Central Asia and GCC markets, and after that, let's see what will happen. And we are extremely glad that that's how it is at the moment, that we stick to these consequences, let's say. Yeah, so again, we also think that we definitely have to go to US. And we even received investments from Alchemist US. And we should be in their this cohort, which is running at the moment. But when we compare our opportunities in Central Asia and our possible opportunities in US, we have conversation with Alchemist, and we ask them to shift our presence at their acceleration program for at least a year. We would like to shape everything here, and after that only we will go to US, because here is a lot of opportunities in Central Asia. It's our main beloved market.
Yesterday, we had another program, and we were talking with Yaroslav Yaroslavsky, and he was sharing the go-to-market strategies and your insights on this. I wanted to ask you, what would you recommend to founders who also have this vision in their head? Ukraine, then EU, then US, and that's basically 80% of what I hear. But how would you recommend them changing this shift in their minds, looking and exploring some markets that are not that yet visible and attractive for Ukrainian founders?
Yes, all cases are different, and my answer cannot be applied to the whole startups, but we can take into account just very logical thoughts. For example, if you are a startup, as we are at the beginning, the first what we are thinking, hey, let's go to US, and the whole world is thinking it the same way. So that means that the competition will be extremely high there, and the level of the startups is extremely high. So if you are, you have to be super best startup to be interesting for local investor because they have a lot of amazing startups. But no one is thinking about other regions. No one is thinking because it's why should we go to Pacific region? Why should we go elsewhere and so on? And we realize, hey, let's do it with such way. So I believe at the time that probably not so many startups is thinking about this region, but this region is amazing and we have a lot of additional advantages. For example, its mentality and the language. So it's dilute a lot of barriers because if the US company will start to acquire Central Asia markets like in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and so on with English from US, from the time zone, we will be more successful here if we will be here. Be more understandable for them, for local clients. So we decided, hey, why we should be weird startup for US companies? Let's start be unique and very familiar startup here in these markets. And after our successful cases from Central Asia, from GCC, we will go to US from absolutely different perspectives. So that was the idea. Let's think not like everyone, like no one, and you have much more possibilities.
And can you elaborate more on the localization? You've touched upon the similarities between the Ukrainian mentality and then Central Asian market. How hard or easy was the localization of the product, and what are the key points that were required for you to do while launching the products there?
Yeah, no problem. Not so. If we are building the global company, we have to do localization. Of course, for example, we have to do localization, and it's not it's not more difficult to translate everything in Uzbek language or compared to Portuguese language, let's say. But all other stuff is faster and more effective and cheaper here. So you can do it much more cheaper here. One more thing that Ukrainian founders and companies from Ukraine, so the people here and stakeholders which we are working with, when they realize, hey, it's Ukrainians, they really, really like us and would like to work with us. So it's also help us. It's also help. Of course, if you would like to work in this region, you have to have a local entity here. So even if you would like to receive investments in Uzbekistan, you definitely have to have local entities. They know how to invest in local entity and then how transform this their share in your US Delaware-based company. So they already have all this mechanism and tools, so it's not a problem. But you have to have this company. If you would like to receive money from Uzbek banks, you have to have local company. But if you are part of the IT park, you have a free zone without taxation and so on and so on. They have a lot of things that will bring you to the success faster than in Europe and somewhere else. In Europe, by the way, we established a company in Portugal, and we were fighting with a bank to open an account for more than 3 months. So here I opened an account in Uzbekistan during the day, and you can start to use it. It's in Portugal. You have to translate everything in Portuguese. You have to do apostille of all this stuff, and then they will give you account, and then in a month they will block this account, and so on and so on. It's impossible to work there, to be honest. So, but here, yes, there are some bureaucracy here as well, but this bureaucracy is predictable and very logical. Yeah, so of course, if you would like to stay here, you have to be employee of the company, you have to receive some special documents, but it's, for example, if you would like to have, you should have tax number here in Uzbekistan, but you will spend 15 minutes to get it. Yeah, so it's faster than
easy, fast landing, right?
Yeah.
And any final tips for founders who are considering these markets? Maybe something that they have to keep in mind while considering or entering these markets.
Yeah, the market is growing extremely fast. There are a lot of opportunities here, and we, with our solution, are interesting for the market. They really want us and want this solution. I'm talking about the banks, but I believe the other areas is also SMB is growing here. But take into account our experience. I'm advising you to do it in a very comprehensive way. So not only here is we startup, take a look at our pitch deck. No, you have to go to this three direction. You have to communicate with clients, you have to communicate with investors, and you have to be on the radars. You have to attend all the conferences. They should realize that you are local. So you are with there. It's impossible to receive investments or clients via Zoom in Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or so on and so on. It's quite difficult to receive something in other countries as well, but here it's definitely impossible. But when you are here, it doesn't mean that you have to live here, but you have to spend a lot of time here. But when you are here and when they feel that you are kind of part of it, it will come much more faster.
Yaroslav, thank you so much for finding time and sharing your experience and being so honest with your journey, because it's very inspiring and it gave me a fresh look on the market. And I hope that our founders can take into consideration your words and really build something meaningful in this region. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for invitation and good luck. Bye-bye.
Thanks. And we are moving forward, and now we will have an amazing presentation from another hub. It's Astana Hub, Kazakhstan's gateway to global tech and innovation, represented by Yeskandir Amirkhan. He's a director of international relations and investment office at Astana Hub. Yeskandir, hi. Thank you so much for joining us today for this market discovery workshop and agreeing to talk about local ecosystem in Astana.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for the invitation. Yeah, it's an honor for me to be here and have an opportunity to tell everyone who's interested more about our ecosystem. So let me please start. I'll start with the presentation of what actually is Astana Hub. So Astana Hub is the innovation cluster here in Astana, tasked with developing the IT ecosystem in our region. So what are our bigger goals? So our big targets, big goals for 2030 is to try to train 10,000 AI talents here in Kazakhstan by 2030. Helping to create 5 unicorns, trying to nurture them to grow them, and of course, trying to achieve $5 billion in annual tech services and product exports by 2030. Astana Hub has its own tax regime here. So just like IT Park, just like with the IT Park, IT companies can become members of Astana Hub and enjoy the tax incentives. So currently, we have more than 1,700 IT companies registered as members of Astana Hub, more than 28,000 people working there, and the numbers for revenue, investment, export are also of these said IT companies. On the right here, you can also see the top grossing revenue sectors among these IT companies. Astana Hub's work generally revolves around these 4 big pillars. First of all, we try to acquire as much talent here in one place at Astana Hub. For that, we have our own informational partners. We are building regional tech hubs and organizing different types of forums. Next, we try to educate as much people here at Astana Hub. For that, we have our grant programs. We are building IT schools, everything needed to nurture this new population of IT specialists. Then, of course, we are also trying to help IT companies. For that, we have different types of initiatives. And once these startups mature and are ready for bigger markets, we are helping them, we're supporting them with the export to the bigger markets overseas. So first of all, when it comes to mass media, our reach is somewhere around 15 million people. We have our own platform, astanahub.com. All of our initiatives, programs are all put in one place here on our platform. We have regional hubs throughout Kazakhstan. So any bigger city of Kazakhstan with more than a few 100,000 people probably has a regional office there. We had created them to try to attract all of the local tech scene into to become part of our ecosystem, to be involved. Also, we are organizing big tech events every year. The bigger one being Digital Bridge. This is the big tech forum we organize in Astana annually. This year we are planning to host it from October 2nd till 4th. So everyone here is welcome to participate in Digital Bridge. Yes, we have our own dedicated website called Digital Bridge, where you can apply and visit the forum. Also, we're trying to educate as much people here who want to transition to IT, who want to begin their journey in IT. For that, we have our own grant program called Tekorda. This is the grant program where we're giving somewhere around $1,000 per student to pursue beginner and middle level IT courses here in Kazakhstan. Also, we have our own platform called edu@astanahub.com, where we are also providing IT courses to anyone who is interested. Then we are, of course, we're working since 2018 in acceleration. So we're helping the startups on all levels of development. So, for example, at the entry level, we are providing the program called Startup Garage for startups who are at the very beginning of their who are just starting out with their project. So, for example, a team that has an idea for an IT startup, they can apply. We are helping them to validate their ideas, to find new clients. We're helping them with their products. We're doing everything for them to move to the next stage. Also, last year we had launched our very first own AI program called AIpreneurs. This is the program where we are gathering specialists in very different areas to create new AI teams. Also, we are hosting the program called Silkway Accelerator together with Google for startups from all over the region. So from all of the Central Asian countries, also Mongolia, Azerbaijan, all of these countries are welcome to participate in Silkway Accelerator. Usually we choose 15 best ones to participate in this program. We're very proud of our alumni from all over our region. You can see that our alumni are regularly meeting with the leaders of countries. Like here you can see the Mongolian president, Kazakhstani president, and so on. Once the startup is ready and mature to expand to bigger markets, we are helping with that too. Together with IT Park, we had launched several international hubs throughout the world. So here we have mentioned the startups in Saudi Arabia, in Silicon Valley, and in London. Also, we're launching 2 more, one in Dubai and one in China. Also, we have acceleration programs. We're also launching them together with Uzbekistani IT Park. So these 2 programs are Hero Training and Alchemist. So we're both sending 5 startups to each of these programs annually. So when it comes to supporting the local tech scene, we have help to issue digital nomad visa and residency. So these are and this is the visa that is obtained fully online, and it's given up to 10 years. We also have special centers where we are also helping the interested IT companies to move to Kazakhstan to open a legal entity here. Here also we have listed all of the taxes that are exempt for our members. So once the IT company in Kazakhstan applies and becomes the member of Astana Hub, they're able to enjoy these types of all of these tax preferences. So when usually the companies pay 20% tax on CIT, so IT companies who are participants of Astana Hub don't have to pay it at all. So yeah, of course the company has to be working one of these fields in one of these sectors inside of IT. But yes, we're creating the preferences so that they can grow even quicker. And of course, when the startups are ready to scale, we help them with that too. We also noticed that there is a very substantial growth in venture deals. Kazakhstan being ranked second in our region after Russia when it comes to venture deals. Then, because of that, we had created our own venture fund called Astana Hub Ventures with the valuation with the fund size of 10 million. To meet this growing demand for investments into startups. We also helped to launch the Fund of Funds, which is a bigger overarching fund that will be stimulating the venture funds in Central Asia to then in their turn to invest into the startups of Central Asia. So that's it on Kazakhstan. That's it on Astana Hub. Just a few words about Alemia. Alemia is the international center of AI that we're currently building here in Astana. So the goal of this center is to develop 10 research projects, help nurture 100 startups, try to train 1,000 specialists, and gather 10,000 talents here at Alemia to create this big AI community. So we'll be having 8 floors of infrastructure, the very first one being used to host the public space. And we will be having dedicated zones like the entrance zone called Garden, Immersive Tunnel, the Museum of Singularity, AI Cinema. We'll be having this dedicated zone to host events. We'll be having robotics zone, startup zone, kids zone. So generally, this space will be used to attract as much talent, as much interest in Alemia as possible. The second and third floor will be used to host the Tumo School, is the famous Armenian school dedicated at educating the school children. So here on the left, you can see all of the sectors in which we'll be educating our students. Our plan is to cover at least 5,000 students per year. This is the extracurricular activity for the students, and they'll be spending no more than 4 hours per week at Tumo School. And the fourth and fifth floor will be used to host Tomorrow School. So Tomorrow School is the school for adults from 18 years old, also just like Tumo, completely free for applicants who had successfully passed the selection process. The core education will take 2 years. And our students will be, first of all, learning different types of programming languages. And then they will be learning different types of specializations, just like the ones you see here on the screen, like machine learning, data analysis, big data, data processing, cybersecurity, and so on. Here are just some of the renders of how the fourth and fifth floor will be looking like. Sixth floor will be dedicated at hosting the AI campus. So all of our initiatives when it comes to startup acceleration development will be hosted here. Seventh floor will be used to host R&D labs. So currently we are in talks with the different big tech companies to host their R&D labs at LMAI. Here are just some of the renders again. And the eighth floor will be used to host the AI-driven government. So this will be a situational center used to monitor, analyze, and manage the government processes and crises. For example, we will be trying to fight the bureaucracy, trying to expedite, simplify, and make these processes faster for the government when it comes to bureaucracy. And we'll be looking at the very various challenges when it comes to the government, and we'll be trying to analyze and to improve all of these processes as we go. So that's it on Astana Hub and Alemia. if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Iskander, thank you so much for your presentation. That was very insightful, and I'm amazed with how LM AI is turning and will look like. That's wonderful opportunities. I have a few questions regarding the industries of interest from your point of view. I know that you've listed some, and definitely an AI startups are one of the key priorities, as I can see. But what other domains of startups and fields of startups are good for Kazakhstan, and you see that they are growing and the interest to these startups are growing?
So historically, we are able to notice that, of course, the most popular sectors for our startups were marketplaces, medtech startups, this type of creating the CRM systems. But we were pleasantly surprised last few years when we've seen the growth of game dev projects. For example, we have a startup called Grand Mobile, which has a dedicated base of users, of players, of millions of players. They are starting to cover the whole region of Russian-speaking world, and it's very we're seeing a lot of potential with that project. Also, we have another project called O Games, which already surpassed several tens of millions of dollars in valuation. So I would say game dev is very promising when it comes to that, and also creative industry when it comes to IT is also seeing a good boost. For example, we have a startup called Hicksfeld AI, which is working trying to find new partners in US with big techs. They are working with the creating videos and then images using the AI, and already they are showing very promising results. And we think that these are just some of the sectors in which we're seeing a lot of potential when it comes to local startups.
Thank you for pointing out on the industries and their domains. And last but not least, the question is about is there any opportunities specifically designed for Ukrainian startups, or at least do you see what might be the first entry points for Ukrainian founders who are considering entering the Astana and Kazakhstan?
Generally speaking, Astana Hub is the and AIFC. These are just some two organizations that can help the Ukrainian companies to try their footing here in Kazakhstan. For example, we have a number of initiatives that make it much easier for companies to enter our market. Starting with the digital nomad visa in residency, which will help to with the documents of entering Kazakhstan. We have a dedicated team that helps with the legal entity. We're also supporting the startups when it comes to opening becoming the member of Astana Hub. So all of this support is given so that international IT companies, startups, have the least amount of friction when it comes to entering our market. So also we have right next door AIFC, which is the organization tasked with helping corporations. Other than the tax regime that we are offering, they also are offering the English law that's functional there once you register in their center. So yes, we have several options when it comes to entering our market and to make it as easy as possible.
Iskander, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your experience and opportunities that founders have while considering these markets and this region. It was very insightful, and I really appreciate your time and involvement. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And we are slightly moving forward to our last session that will be dedicated to investment opportunities and different tips and tricks and all the important information that you need to know about getting an investment in Central Asia and Caucasus. And it will be done by a fireside chat with Aziz Ochilov, an early stage investor at Plug and Play Tech Center. And it will be again moderated by our amazing partner from Impact Hub, Alexandra. Alexandra, the floor is yours. Please.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of the great speakers so far. And I want to introduce Aziz Ochilov, who's a venture associate at Plug and Play Tech Center, where he leads an accelerator program in Central Asia and the Caucasus. Welcome to the stage, Aziz. So happy that you can join us today. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can see Aziz is here, but something is wrong with the camera, maybe.
Now, maybe. Yes. Hello, Aziz.
Audible?
We don't hear you that well.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. But like Anastasia said, we're gonna finish off today's session with the investment perspective, because we know, of course, that many of you startups are looking for some tips when expanding to the markets, and it's always good to get a local investor to really understand the market. Now, Aziz.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me, guys?
Yes,
Sorry
we can
for
hear
my
you.
bad connection. Now quickly change the network.
Ah,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you so much, Aziz. I just welcome you. And if you want to, you can please introduce yourself and what kind of areas you're focusing on as an investor.
Great. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me, having me here, guys. It's really nice to talk to you. And I do not have amazing presentations like Iskender, but will try to my best to share all the valuable information that I can. So my name is Aziz Ochilov. I'm a ventures associate at Plug and Play Central Asia and Caucasus region. And I'm mainly focusing on early stage startups in fintech, enterprise AI, and B2B SaaS solutions, especially for those who are building scalable.
I think we're having some kind of issue. Maybe, Aziz, if you join through the phone, it can be a solution.
Yes, I think that would work. And while Aziz is rejoining, I just wanted to share and talk with you, Alexandra, about I never expected that this market discovery workshop, and it's our final workshop as a part of Seeds of Bravery, out of all of the market discoveries that we ever did, and we partnered with you.
Sorry, guys. I have no idea what's happening with my internet, but you can hear me, right? Am I audible?
Yes, but we suggested maybe. Do you think it would work better through the phone with the?
Let's try. Let's give it a last try.
Okay.
Sure. We'll wait for you.
Again. Yeah, sure. No. I mean, let's continue, and if there will be some problem, I will switch to the phone.
Okay, let's do it like that. Yes. So you were just telling us about what kind of startups you were mainly supporting.
Mainly, we're supporting. Plug and Play itself is supporting for a lot of industries, a lot of verticals. So there are more than 25 verticals. But me personally, more focused in fintech solutions, enterprise AI, and B2B SaaS.
Thank you so much. And what would you say is the general trend? What do investors look for right now in Central Asia and Caucasus?
Yeah, regarding general trends, I can personally see the rising interest in embedded finance, AI for operations and compliance, as well as vertical SaaS in logistics, healthcare, and education, if talking about the Uzbekistan and broader Central Asian market.
Very interesting. And would you say that there are any unique conditions to this region? Can it be something from a policy perspective, the infrastructure, or any market needs that you see?
Yeah, I would mention that there is growing regulatory support for digital payments and also rising internet penetration across the whole Central Asia and Caucasus region. And also, I would mention a young tech-savvy population, which is also rising with very lightning speed, very, very fast. And this all creates ideal conditions for startups to become the next unicorns, actually. Yeah.
Can I just clarify, what did you mean with internet penetration in this case?
No, I mean, coverage
Okay,
of the
yes.
internet,
Yes.
the usage of the internet from the regional perspective as well. You know, if we take the Central Asia, the capital hubs are very, very limited. For example, Tashkent, Almaty, Baku, all the centers, city centers are very well connected to the internet, very well, this is not only about the connection, but more by penetration, I mean more usage, relying on the internet. And but those regions are more than just these 3, 4, 5 capital city centers. For example, Tashkent is the capital of Uzbekistan, but there is 13 more regions, the far regions, rural areas, and I'm talking about them. So year to year, the coverage and the usage and the penetration of the internet, as well as internet-based solutions, are rising. This is also one of the growing opportunities.
Very interesting. And what would you say that you are looking for when assessing a startup, a foreign startup, because we're now focusing on the Ukrainian startups?
You mean what we are looking for when we are assessing the startup, right?
Exactly.
Okay, first of all, this is a team, the strong team of founders, their expertise, do they cover all the skill set, all the, let's say, we tell it like in the ideal team should consist of hustler, hacker, and hipster, right? Who is dealing with different kind of directions. So this is the strong team is the first, definitely. The second is the market opportunities, the size and the growth. Is the size enough, and is the growth are fast? Is the growth coming fast? I mean, and last but not least, it's technology. So the solution itself, how unique is it? How I would say practical and result oriented is that technology behind the startup.
And how would you say for a foreign startup, how challenging or easy is it to raise funding in your region? And what are the main challenges?
What are the main? So I would say the ecosystem is maturing right now. It's becoming very mature. Also looking at the slides of the Iskender, so also Uzbekistan, also Uzbekistan's government, as well as IT Park, which is similar to Astana Hub, is doing a lot of things in order to support, in order to develop the whole ecosystem. And we are seeing more local angel networks, regional VCs, and global accelerators entering the market. For example, Plug and Play or 500 Global, Techstars. All of them are showing the growing interest within the region. However, capital is still, concentrated in a few hubs, like I mentioned before, like in Tashkent, Baku, Almaty. These central hubs are mainly the ones who are offering this capital. However, it's still limited. So I would say the funding is possible in general, but founders often struggle with investor readiness or storytelling or data or clarity on the go-to-market strategies for the in front of the investor, which means that many also facing the limited network of institutional investors, I would say. So there are angels, yes, there are some family funds who are spending the money for VC, but still the institutional investors like with global expertise, with Europe expertise, are still limited in the region.
And would you say that they're mostly investing in already like local startup by Uzbeki people, or are they also open for foreign startups who want to expand their business?
Right. You're talking about what? The investors that...
The investors.
I mean, local investors.
Yeah, exactly. Local investors, exactly.
Of course, they are open to invest to international startups as well, but we have to understand what do we mean by international. I mean, how much are they international? For example, I know most of the VCs that are ready to invest, for example, they are from Uzbekistan, but they are ready to invest for the startups from Kazakhstan, from Kyrgyzstan, from neighboring countries. But I do not have much expertise or experience, let's say, that I can tell you that I saw some local VCs invested into US startups. I mean, pure US startups. Not the Uzbek people who are going and living and studying in the US or Europe. And then we have a lot of such cases. But if we talk like truly, I mean, if we talk like, is there any local startup from US who came to our market and got the investment? No, I don't know such situation. And this is because of the, so Central Asian market is small enough. And all the startups are being invested in Central Asian region. I mean, good startups who engaged the decent amount of investment. They are all globally focused, not focused in this region, but they're coming from the local. That's why we can tell them, we can call them like local startups, but their focus, their go-to-market is definitely global.
No, I get it. Maybe it's, like you said, the market's a bit smaller, but if we have a foreign startup, like the Ukrainian startups listening in, what kind of advice would you give them before entering your market? And especially if they want to raise funds?
Very interesting question. First of all, regulation. Study and look for some regulations. Then customer behavior. If you are targeting our local region as a market, and also talent dynamics right across the region. So, which means that if you want to come here and hire some people, you definitely should know where to look for talents, how to find them, you know. And there is no single advice, unique advice for everyone. So it depends on the startup, it depends on the vertical, it depends on, let's say, the goals, the plans of the specific startup.
Thank you. And I always have to agree with the legal aspect. As a lawyer, it's something that people sometimes undervalue, but it's of great importance. And in your view, what would you say are like the best things about your region for a startup?
The region offers high growth market. So the population is rising with lightning speed very fast, and the market is becoming more. The big market is becoming big. This is first, and then cost efficiency for talent, as we said before, and definitely less competition because the market is blue, like blue ocean. There is, if you are targeting the Central Asian market with some kind of solutions, mostly the market is fresh. So competition-wise, you will have a lot of opportunities.
So good. It looks like the startups will have a lot of opportunities, but I also understand that we will need this local engagement in some way. What would be your advice for the founders? How can I get in contact with investors, or investment networks, or the right kind of people?
This is yes and no. I mean, getting right contacts is always a challenge on one hand, but on the other hand, so the Central Asian startup or VC ecosystem is very small. If you will come here, relocate, and live, let's say, 3 to 6 months by living, by attending the networking events, by showing up yourself, you will figure out 3 to 6 months maximum. So you will get in touch with everyone. So there is like 10 to 15, maximum 20 key decision makers or people. So you will definitely have the introduction over one handshake to anyone, or maximum 2 handshakes to anyone you want. Yeah, ecosystem is pretty small.
That sounds very nice, actually. It's a bit similar in Sweden. We also have a quite small ecosystem. We're going to round off, and I just want to end with one question. It's a bit similar to the one before, but what do you believe is if you would say one thing is the most important thing a startup should focus on in order to succeed in your region?
One thing. Okay. This is a tough question because there are a lot of things to focus, but to choose one thing.
You can take some more if you want to. I don't want to make it too difficult for you today, Aziz.
No. What's the purpose? To getting to entering the market with the product?
Yeah, like how can they succeed? They already have a business, for example, in Ukraine, and now they want to expand to this region.
Okay, I would say that solving real problems, which is common to every startup, however, with cultural fit. So knowing the culture of the region and then adapting it to the culture. That would be the most important thing.
Thank you so much, Aziz. Super interesting and a very interesting region to follow. And thank you so much for all of the tips. I think the startups really appreciate it. Like I said, I think the investor perspective is one of the most important aspects when you're expanding to a new region.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for inviting. I'm enjoying here being with you guys.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave it now to Anastasia.
Yes, Alexandra, Aziz, thank you for this fireside chat and talk about the investment opportunities. Dear participants, we are actually finalizing our market discovery workshop dedicated to Central Asia and Caucasus region. I wanted to say that it was quite a journey to create this for you. And as a part of Seeds of Bravery, we've created more than 20 workshops dedicated to market discovery and soft landing on different markets and with different industries with our international partners and experts. I want to say to all of the startup founders who are thinking, considering, hesitating about other markets, just pay attention to Seeds of Bravery market discovery workshops, because people here and people there in our workshops are the real practitioners, open to you and to all the opportunities, and providing a lot of insights on how to do that effectively and cost efficiently. So follow our social media, YouTube channels, find about the opportunities. And it was a real pleasure to moderate this session today. And thank you to all of the participants and speakers. And of course, to an amazing team of Access Big, especially Abby, for the technical support with all of the market discovery workshops, Fionnuala Wall, and of course to my best partners in crime for many market discovery workshops, Alexandra from Impact Hub and Maya from Plug and Play Tech Center. My name is Anastasia Lubisheva. I'm from Welcome to Tech Acceleration, and we have a lot of opportunities waiting for you still as part of Seeds of Bravery and beyond. So let's keep in touch, follow us, and thank you for today's session. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.